Questions. We have tons of them. What if some of those questions can be answered with a simple email? Now is that time, and welcome to Chat with Charlie. Host Stephanie Lynn is a certified spiritual life coach and psychic medium. She will work together with Spirit to answer both your submitted and live questions. Not only will Stephanie be providing you with insight, but also interviews with amazing guests. Now, your host of Chat with Charlie, Stephanie Lynn.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. You are listening to or watching Chat with Charlie on WLTK-DB Let's Talk Radio. I'm really excited to bring you kind of a different option, a different holistic thing to look at. You know, a lot of times we spend our focus on, good morning, Ellie. Thank you for tuning in, on talking about the paranormal or the metaphysical, and even some holistic options. You know, we talk about Reiki. We've talked about QHHT. But this is one where if you're still kind of skeptical on that metaphysical realm, if you're still kind of skeptical about some of those techniques, that this is a holistic option that is really more mainstream. And so I'm really excited to bring Angie to you to discuss some of these products, how these products can help you and aid in things that you're going through, and to discuss how they've helped me personally since being introduced to them and meeting Angie. So good morning, Jackie. Thank you for tuning in. So without further ado, I would like you to all help me welcome Angie Rodriguez to the show. Good morning, Angie.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to do this.
I'm very excited to have you here too. And I think this is, is such an amazing holistic option. And a lot of people don't hear about it. And so I thought, how great would it be? You have such great energy to bring you in and really kind of explain to people the options and the benefits. But before we get into all that, because it's such an encompassing topic, can you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, how you got into these holistic options and the draw for you personally?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I am originally here from Wisconsin, but I studied to be a teacher, Spanish teacher and English teacher for all ages. So when I graduated from college, I went to Mexico and got this job working in an elementary school teaching third grade bilingual classes. And I was like, oh, this is maybe not the greatest job for me, right? Like I had this job, like this is how my self-care journey, I was like, oh, I'm going to need to up my game a little bit, right? So I had this job that it was just not a good fit for me, but it was what I had while when I was living and working in Mexico. It was paying my bills. Like I had to keep doing my best at it, but it was really hard. I had tension headaches every single day. And so, I was like in my early 20s. I didn't really have the mindset that, like I had never been put into a situation where I had to figure out how to take care of myself in that way before. So, so I was like, I didn't know what to do. So I was like, I feel like I'm taking, like painkillers every day for headaches, and I feel like I'm stressed and worn out all the time. And I had a little chat with our librarian at the school, and she was a youth consultant because youth is huge in Mexico. And she was like, here, I have this 31 herbal oil, just put a little on like your energy points, and breathe it in, and it takes care of your headaches. And I was like, what? Right. Like northern Wisconsin, we didn't really have like a self-care, we didn't really have like a natural wellness, anything in my life. So I was like, okay, I mean, I'll try it because I'm desperate, but I was not really sure. I wasn't really sure about it. So I bought this 31 herbal oil from her, and I started applying it like on my temples and behind my ears and my neck, and I breathed it in. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, my headaches would be gone. Yeah. Literally in a minute or two, like it would adjust what was going on in my body, all the stress and tension that I was carrying around. It would release that, and my headaches would go away. And I fell in love. Like I was immediately like, wow, this is something that I never thought would work for me. And it completely changed those 2 years of my life where I was able to take care of myself and keep doing, I had to keep working. So I was able to keep working, but also take better care of myself during that time. So yeah, that was like my first experience with natural remedies, right? Like I fell in love with this particular brand that, I later learned more about it, but it is, so Swiss Yeast is a Swiss company that has been a pioneer in herbal remedies. They founded their company in 1930, right? So they've been around
And
for
like you
90
said,
years.
they're huge in the other countries,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes. Europe, Latin America, it is the go-to essential oil company. And because I think there's also, like, for example, when I was living in Mexico, it was very popular too, because there's just more of an herbal tradition there, because a lot of people are just trying to avoid taking medication all the time. And they're always trying to find a natural, effective way to take care of their symptoms, or stress, or, whatever is going on in their lives. So yes, I'm really grateful that I had that introduction, while I was already living in another culture and I was already accepting new ideas and new things. But then to have it actually work was just the icing on the cake, right?
Yeah, it is. And I know, exactly where you're coming from too, because I've gone through that, and I like how you bring in the self-care, but I've tried, the ibuprofen. I've gone to the doctors for my migraines for medication, and I'm not great at going into the doctor, like, seriously. And I don't recommend this for anybody, but my rule is, like, I need 3 things wrong with me, because I don't like taking medication. I look at going to the doctor as kind of like going to the mechanic. You go in for a sore foot and you come out and everything else is broken.
Yes.
And so that's a me thing. But I had learned about these products through your sister when I was working with her. And I even, like, today, and I like how you say, until you tried it, because people can talk about, and there's always these jokes. Oh, do you have an oil for that? But
yes, I've heard those jokes.
right. And, but until you try it, really, you don't realize the effects it can have on you, and I love that.
Absolutely. And I feel like a lot of people just assume that there's no science behind it, that since it's natural, there's no science behind it. And there is. Like, I feel like if you are a skeptic and you want to get some more information, if you want it from the medical community, go to Johns Hopkins and search the information that they have on essential oil use, because they recommend it. Like, they say, yes, use it in these ways. We don't really recommend ingesting them, or we don't really recommend putting them in a diffuser if you have people with special needs. Like, they'll give you all the information from the medical side too, if you want to hear the full perspective. But like, the science behind it is that when you apply or breathe in these essential oils, they have chemical compounds that come from plants, right? So those compounds go in and they work on your nervous system, especially the amygdala, like our emotional center, and they help us feel better. Like, they change what's going on. So for me, like, I feel like one of the most powerful for me at this stage of my life, where I have small children and I'm at home with them trying to get things done, like, and you're kind of in, like, you become this supreme multitasker.
Yes.
You can get kind of overstimulated on a regular basis. Whether it could just be background noise. It could be like the constant demands.
Loud chewing. Sometimes it's just loud chewing. I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
Yes. So you get this, like, overstimulation from your environment, and your nervous system, like, starts to, like, spike, right? It's like, what is going on here? Get me out of here. And you're like, well, I'm a mother. I can't get out of here, right? Like, this is my life, right? So what I work on my mindset in terms of, like, I choose to be home to spend time with my children. I love them. I enjoy them. These years are only for this little period of time. And they're gone. Like, I work on the mindset, and that helps me get out of some of that. But my nervous system needs some help, because I get, like, peaks of anxiety or, like, stress that I can't calm down just on my own. And sometimes I just don't have time to build in my entire self-care routine at that moment to get myself back at my happy place. So for me, and I don't want to say essential oils are like that Band-Aid quick fix, but they are a way to, like, train myself to stop and take a moment and recognize, like, I'm not feeling well. I'm not doing my best right now, and I can do something about it. And I get immediate, like almost immediate effects, right? So I feel
Right.
better immediately, and I feel even better within 5 to 10 minutes. So for example, I feel like used essential oil blends for mood management are some of their most
Yes.
powerful. Would you
I
agree? Like,
agree. I agree. I mean, actually, I'm
yeah.
holding my Gaducci
Are
because,
you?
yeah, because I mean, like, literally, I
Everybody.
messaged our producer
Uh-huh.
at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, Todd, I'm gonna be cutting it close. My middle schooler just messaged me. I mended his pants, and the mend isn't holding. I have to take him new pants, and I'm like running around. And I came home and I sat down and I grabbed this, and I'm like, if I could stick it up my nose, I probably would because it's just like, okay, it's okay. We're
Yeah.
okay. And
Yeah.
that, like you said, that draining, but I agree. I love their blends.
Yes, like they are the ones that are most like when I do exposition, I do like wellness fairs and expos and things like
Right.
that. And I'll have people who come and they'll just like stop and chat and they'll try a little bit of something. They'll try a little bit of I'm going to show you like the anti-stress blend. This is what I use.
Yes.
This is what I use for like peaks of anxiety or stress or overstimulation, right? But they'll come and they'll try something on, and I'm like, okay, so we're just going to demo it. You can apply it, or you
Hmm.
can watch me apply it. You can smell it, whatever you want. But I just tell them, okay, so put a little on your temples, away from your eyes. Put a little behind your ears, put a little on the nape of your neck, on your wrists. And I tell them, okay, take the time, rub that together,
Right.
and activate an aroma so that you can breathe it in, right? And then I say, and don't just breathe it in like once and you're done. I'm like,
Right.
if you are in a bad place at that time, right? Like you're
Yeah.
overstimulated and stressed and like starting to like get angry and irritated with people. I'm like, take a moment. It only takes like a minute of your day. I put this on my palms and I'll
Hmm.
rub it and I'll do like the 4x4 breathing technique to reset my brain too. So I'll breathe this in and I'll breathe in slowly for a count of 4. I'll hold it for a count of 4. Breathe out for a count of 4
Right.
and repeat that whole process 4 times. So 4x4, just everything for a
Hmm.
count of 4. And like like your brain will reset,
Yeah.
but you're also getting the calming benefits of like this one has like 15 different essential oils that all work together to calm down that nervous system spike of like
Absolutely.
anxiety and stress. So in this one, if you have anxiety, like you need to try this in a peak of anxiety to really feel like
Absolutely.
holy cow, like wow, how can it do that? Like I feel like I've always been like, oh yeah, I feel more relaxed, I feel better. But a couple of weeks ago I had like I don't know, a random spike of anxiety where like my heart was like beating
Yeah.
faster. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I don't know what's causing this. I don't
Right.
know what this is. And it was probably just overstimulation of, my environment. But I put this on and literally within a minute, I was like, oh my gosh, it's gone. Like
Yeah.
it calmed everything down.
Right.
So the best time to try this is when you most need it. Like you said too, like you're like running around, you're trying to like, okay, I got to get my life together in like 5 minutes
Yeah.
here. And use it when you most need it. And I do samples and things like that too. So if it's something that people want to try at home, definitely reach out to me. I have like a whole library of samples at home, so that you can try these when you most need it to make sure that it's working for you. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I do have Angie's information up on the screen. It's in the comments. And please, to our viewers, send in your messages. Now's the time to really connect too with the consultant if you've got something going on that you're looking for insight on, or hey, can an essential oil possibly help me? Ask Angie. That's why she's here today. We do have a question, Angie, from
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie. And she
Okay.
says, can or will you recommend where to purchase good quality essential oils?
Yes. So for me,
And
I'm
this sounds
obviously
horrible, but don't buy them at the supermarket.
yes. Oh my
That's
gosh.
where
If
I
you can't even
started.
apply,
And
yeah.
I want to say, because I've been there, like, and
Yeah.
I know, especially as moms or,
Mhm.
people that are giving, it's hard to look at the value of quality self-care products. And I
Mhm.
would struggle because, okay, you go to Walmart and you get this for like $5,
Mhm.
and it really didn't do what I needed it to do. And, when you look at some of these products, whether it's Youth, whether it's Young Living, whether it's doTERRA, they're pricey,
Mhm.
but it's a completely different quality. So I just wanted to point that out because I think sometimes you look at stuff and you're like, like my favorite product, honestly, and I know you'll talk about this later, is this Care and Repair oil.
Mm.
And this stuff's it's not cheap, but I won't go without this now, and so it's the quality, but I'll let you answer her question.
No. So absolutely. Like, I think that, like you said, the quality matters for sure, because, okay, with essential oils, there are different grades of quality, and there's not a whole lot of like overarching, government-based quality control of them.
Right.
So you have to make sure that you're picking a company that takes their quality control really seriously. Like, so that's one thing, is one, like with used, when that's part of the research that I did before joining as a consultant.
Yes.
I was like, integrity matters to me. I already use the products and love them, but I need to know, like, I liked the fact that they do some in-house testing just to see like how it works for people and things like that, but they always get outside labs to test their new products as well. They always have to meet international standards for Europe and the Americas. So They always, like, they're not just creating their own standards, right? They're not just doing their own testing and saying like, oh yeah, we're doing a great job. So they really are getting input from outside entities to test their quality. And you'll see that like a lot of like the supermarket grade, like if you're buying some essential oils, you're going to get like perfume grade, like they have the aroma. There's also therapeutic grade, which does work well for a lot of people. And then used, for example, is pharmaceutical grade, which means it goes through pharmacopoeia, like testing to make sure that there are zero contaminants. And pharmaceutical grade, they have to maintain high quality over a long period of time and things like that. So they're really, really strict quality testing with a company like what I consult with, which is used. You want to be careful, because some essential oils that you get for a lower price, they don't have as much of the actual compounds in them, like the essential oils in them. A lot of them are diluted sometimes with like things like not necessarily just like vegetable oil, but like other oils that aren't going to give you the benefits, right? So one test that we'll do, like sometimes, like I see these for like $5 sometimes, right? Like if you were to take a lower grade essential oil and you put it like on a paper towel, you'll see that there's like a residue left after the essential oil evaporates into the air. There will be like an oil stain left, because those are oils that aren't there for a purpose. They're just like fillers, right? Versus if you were to put a used pure essential oil on that paper towel, like the oils themselves will evaporate and there will be nothing left, because they're not putting in extra things that they don't need, right? And think of it as like, a lot of people too will look at the price and say like, well, it's just this little bottle, right? Like, why am I paying that price for this little bottle? And an important thing to know about good essential oils, like with used, I need 1 drop for most applications, maybe 2, maybe 5 if I'm using a diffuser, like a medium-sized diffuser or something like that. But if I have even like our smallest bottles, which are 5 milliliters, that has about 100 drops of essential oil in it. So you're getting up to like about 100 applications, depending on how you're using them, out of one little 5 milliliter bottle.
And that's a great point, because I know when I started going more with used and phasing out my products that I got at cheaper products, I like the first time I remember I got Harmony Plus and I was putting it in my diffuser and I used like 5 drops because that's what I had to use when I was using the other products. And then I'm like, holy cow, because it was so overwhelming. And I think, I almost killed my husband. He's like, what is that? And I'm like, feel better. But it was overpowering. So that's great, because it has lasted so much longer than my other products.
Right. Yeah. Because of that concentrate. Yeah. They are very concentrated. And when you start using a brand new oil that's new to your senses, you probably want to start, like, even if you have a medium, like 100 or 150 mil diffuser, you'd probably want to start with like 3 drops. And then sometimes as you get adapted to an aroma, sometimes you up that just a little bit over time, because your body will kind of have like like a immunity. I don't want to say immunity to it, but you know what I mean? Like, because you don't want to
get used to it.
Yes. You don't want to overdo it at the beginning, because it can give you like a headache, right? Because they are, like I said, they are plant compounds that are going in and affecting our body. So you don't want to like, some people are like, can I just like bathe in this? I'm like, you will want to, but don't do it. Because you'll get the opposite effect. Like small amounts is best. And, and we just always want to make sure that we're using them safely, especially when you have pure essential oils. So like used makes life easy by putting a lot of them in like a cream or a spray, or, like my respiratory care. This is eucalyptus and rosemary and mint all blended together in this Eucosol spray, but it has a carrier in it so that it's like easy for me to use, right? If I were to buy just pure eucalyptus essential oil, I would either have to use it in a diffuser or make sure I get a carrier oil or cream with it, right? So that's another thing that not everyone knows, and I feel like that's super important, is that pure essential oils need a carrier before you apply them on your skin. Even in small amounts. Like you might say, oh, I put eucalyptus on and nothing happened, like I'm fine. But that's like your skin reaction is fine. Right. You don't want to be putting them in at an unbalanced, concentration into your body. So I just always make sure people know, like, work with, that's why we have consultants for essential oils, and we try to not just like sell them randomly. I mean, I know they are sold randomly, but you need a person who has been trained on how to use them correctly to guide you with it, to help you meet your specific needs, but also to like teach you how, like, this one you use in this way, right? This one works best for this in this way. Like we own them, we use them, we experience them, and we're trained, right, by our company to give you correct information. So I would say those are a few, to get back to Bonnie's question. Sorry, I'm a rambler.
No, you're okay.
But yes, look for, pharmaceutical grade is the highest quality. Therapeutic grade does work pretty well for a lot of people, but I do feel like in my customers' testimonials, they say they feel a difference between having like the pharmaceutical grade high quality, and especially like blends that are already made by the company versus having to make their own is another thing I hear a lot of. Like, okay, so Used has these Galenic masters who have already worked on what is the very most efficient blend, like for this 31 herbal oil to get rid of tension and headaches, right? They've already worked on that and tested that. And so instead of you having to play around with a bunch of different oils, they've already done the work. So look for things like that, the blends that have already been made to be their most effective, and research a little bit the company's quality standards to make sure that they're just not like making up their own, because like I said, it's not something that's regulated on the large scale. Right. You have to trust that they're doing a good job and taking that seriously. So.
Absolutely. And, and Angie and I are here because we like Used, we like Swiss Used. These are the products that we like, but like she said, do your research, see what resonates with you, look into the companies. Don't just, I always disliked, especially people that do direct sales who are just like, here, use this with no background information. And Used provides so much background information. So we have two more questions. We're going to do one quick question before we take our first break. And Michelle is asking, is there an oil to boost your self-worth, that feeling of self-worth?
There are, let me see. I'm trying to think what would be like the best blend. I feel like self-worth for me is something that's just like an inside job. That's like our mental game for a lot of us too, of positive affirmations, of setting boundaries for ourselves. And a lot of that I personally work on via reading and practice. Like I read, what do I need to be telling myself and those around me to set boundaries? Because I feel like, especially us as women, we get a lot put on our shoulders. We have to set boundaries to limit that. We have to teach people around us, like, these are not all my jobs, right? Like, so that I feel like is a part beyond essential oils that I think we all need to work on. In terms of some effects that you could get to help you in that process. So if you feel like you need kind of an uplifting mood boost during the day, to say like, I've got this, I'm going to be assertive and I am going to make the most of this day today, right? Look at different citrus oil blends for that uplifting effect. So for example, lemon is great for like inspiration and creativity, and it gives you that uplifting feeling. Bergamot, they're called our happy drops, right? So those are that's like our best mood lifter, right? Like that's going to really help like a lot of essential oils can kind of tell our body to start releasing some endorphins and kind of give us that boost that we need.
Right.
Or by using, I know like Steph and I have these favorite blends for starting the day, the Guducci and SOS
Yes.
Motivation. Yeah.
Yep. I have that one sitting here too.
Steph, you want to share about SOS Motivation? Because I know you use this one a lot.
Yes. For the SOS Motivation for me, like Angie said, it's that citrusy blend, but I know, like personally, I'm sensitive to the strong scents, and I feel like the SOS Motivation has that right blend of citrus that it's refreshing. To me, like if I could describe it as a body feeling, it's like a really hot day having a sip of lemonade. Like it's just that, like that refreshing feeling.
Yes. And and there are oils in that blend that do so many different things. So you get like the orange, which is going to help level out your moods and make you feel like calm. But they also have like verbena and some other blends that are going to help boost your mood. We have cedar that helps kind of help you feel calm and confident. So like if I were to pick a blend that's like, I want to have self-esteem, that self-worth, like that feeling of like, I can go out and do this today, SOS Motivation would be a really good place to start. And like, because you're saying stuff like this blend is also, it's not as powerful of an aroma to the senses. It's really pleasant. Think of it as like orange and cedar are what most stand out in this, right? So it is. And it's also, this is one that's designed at a little bit lower concentration because they're using it for kids like ages 3 and up, right? So, so they're thinking of like the teenagers and the kids of today who have gone through pandemic of being stuck in their house for a year and a half, and their brains are just kind of, they struggle to get up and go get their things done sometimes.
Right.
They've gone through like kind of a traumatic period at a young age, right? So they, with the, lockdown and all these things. So that's when they came out with this blend, was in response to that. It's like, we're seeing kids having a hard time having like that confidence and the motivation to go out and do things. And it works well for adults as well, but it's just a different concentration. So if you're looking at a place to start, SOS Motivation smells fantastic. Very orange cedar is what stands out in this one. And it's so easy because it's this little roll on that you just apply on those same energy points that I was talking about earlier, right? So citrus oils would be my biggest recommendation. But like I said, since we're always talking about holistic wellness, like we say, like happiness is an inside job, right? Like,
absolutely.
and valuing yourself is an inside job. But for me, this has been a journey and I'm still on it, right? I think all of us are. But for me, having essential oils works well for me because it's like a visual reminder of what I'm doing. Like I have these in my kitchen right next to my sink because that's where I get into bad moods of like, I cannot believe or I keep them in my purse because every time I keep all of these little roll-ons are in my purse at all times because when we go out and run errands with my small children, I have a hard time being on my A game. Like I get overstimulated. I get tired. There's always something. And I feel like, okay, we're doing this. We have to go get groceries. And I'm going to be the best mom I can during this time instead of getting frustrated and strung out. Or by having diffusers in all the rooms of my house too. It's like, okay, we need this environment to change a little bit. And I set up my diffuser to be calming or to be uplifting for respiratory care, whatever we need. So I feel like the visual aspect of it helps you build the habits of saying, I am worth taking a moment to take good care of myself. It is simple. It doesn't, it isn't, it's a big journey that you're going on to take good care of yourself. But in that moment, it's like, you don't need an hour and a half to take good care of yourself.
Right. Just a few seconds, just recenter, regroup. And my mom's actually watching today. So good morning, Mom. And she says, the first thing to comprehend is taking care of yourself is far from being selfish.
Yes.
And that's what people have to realize. So with that, we're going to take our first station break. Please continue to send in your questions. When we come back, we have a question from Jackie, and we'll be talking about what you can add into your first aid kit.
Yes.
We'll see you in just a moment.
Certified psychic medium Stephanie Lynn creates an authentic connection between the living and the spirit world. Stephanie knows she is here to help heal, educate, and provide validation that there is more after death, and allows herself to be a conduit and work as a team with spirit to pass on messages from their world to ours. Stephanie Lynn also works as a spiritual life coach to help you achieve, create, and manifest your best self and life. Looking for help communicating with an animal? Searching for a past life regression therapist? Or dealing with a paranormal experience? Stephanie Lynn is here to help. For a list of full services, visit her on Facebook under Stephanie Lynn Spirit Sensitive. That's Stephanie Lynn Spirit Sensitive. Ellie Weisensell's psychic medium is a medical intuitive that specializes as a body code practitioner. As an energy healer, Ellie offers additional services that allow her modalities to be intertwined with energetic healing. Within your subconscious lies information that knows everything about you and why you deal with specific conditions. The subconscious can be considered the blueprint to your entire body. With Ellie working physically with your subconscious mind, we detect what negative emotions are trapped and where they are stored within the body that is causing you your emotional and physical pain. This work is designed to remove imbalances and correct them energetically, getting to the root cause of why you have your condition, to help balance your body so it may heal itself. Your body is infinitely wise and wants to be in balance. The body code is not only gentle for humans, but it is also a gentle process to help animals. For more information, contact Ellie Weisensell at the website below.
Good morning, everyone. It is 31 past the hour. You are watching or listening to the Chat with Charlie show. I am your host, Stephanie Lynn, and today we're being joined by Angie Rodriguez. We've been talking about the Swiss used products and how we can use them to uplift us and the other various things they can help with the moods and their blends. So if you're just tuning in, please go back and listen to the beginning of the show. But I did kind of want to shift, Angie. But before we do that, Jackie asks, what do you recommend for someone who is unfortunately very sensitive to scents and skincare products? And she's also allergic to lavender.
Oh, yeah, that is a tricky one. With all essential oils and all of the used products, we always recommend, like a lot of people have fewer sensitivities to them because they don't have like all the extra chemical add-ins that those of us with sensitive skin tend to react to. Yes. But we always recommend that if you try a new product, like we can send you samples of things to try, but always try it on the inside of your arm first to make sure that you don't have a reaction. So that's one key thing. And then it kind of depends on what your needs are. I do have information where I can look up like the specific allergens in any of our products. Actually, if you go to my website and there's a need that you're interested in, you can like type in a need in the search bar, and it will come up with some suggestions. I can like set up a time to talk to me about it. But then there is information at the bottom of like how to use it, the key ingredients of the essential oils, but then also there's the, I can't remember the acronym, NCI something that has like how you like I'm very scientific again. No, but it tells you like the common allergens that might be found in a carrier. So for some people, it's like almond oil because they have a nut allergy, or
right.
Or coconut oil or things like that. So so I would say overall, let's double check anything that you're interested in, because lavender is used in a lot of the blends, like the anti-stress, Guducci. It's not in Gardenia Nights, but we would definitely check for any of those specific allergens that you've already used. However, like a lot of people who have sensitive skin, like the almond body lotion, for example, because it has this delicate, sweet aroma.
Yes.
I say it smells kind of like the almond extract that your grandma put in
it
cookies
does.
or something, like, right? It has like just that little tiny bit of aroma, almost like a sugar cookie, like,
Yes.
like an almond cookie. So it has just a little bit of sweetness, but it also has almond oil is one of nature's best skin softeners. So you get really soft skin. It absorbs right away into your skin, and it's not as likely to irritate sensitive skin as the regular over-the-counter stuff, which for me, that's one of my biggest reasons for used for like basically all of my skincare, all of my body care, all of everything, is because I have sensitive skin, and I don't know how many years I went using fragrance-free everything. And it's a sad state, because by having those pleasant aromas, you're releasing endorphins. Like, by having things that smell good, you get an extra experience out of even just putting on body lotion. And so I was like, oh, here I go with this stuff that doesn't smell like anything again. And it wasn't great lotion either, right? It was just like sitting on my skin, pretending to do its job. So when I started using my body lotion, for example, from Used, this specialized essential oil company, they're so good at absorption, right? If you use our chamomile hand cream, for example, this would be another good one for you too, probably. Yes. The chamomile hand cream, the almond body lotion, really any of the creams, you feel it just like absorbs into your skin right away. And for like, I'll show you, I don't know how well you can see my hands on here, but they're kind of dry right now. I haven't put hand lotion on yet today. Sorry, my nails need a little upkeep, right? But so when I put on this chamomile hand cream, what this does is chamomile is calming for our senses and for our skin. And so when I rub this on, it just leaves my hands like silky smooth, but there's nothing on top of them. Like, they're not greasy. They're not I don't know how to describe it.
It's like a satin glove.
It's like a satin glove. It is. Yeah. It is like a satin glove. And literally, it's like an invisible glove to protect your sensitive hands during the day. So in between applications, you're going to get extra protection from, if you're using hand sanitizer or, you have to wash your hands often and things like that. It just gives you like that extra boost of protection. For a lot of people, if your hands don't go through that much during the day, you can use this literally once in the morning and once at night, even in winter. I have sensitive hands that react to a lot of different like soaps and dish soaps and things like that. So I have to use mine a little bit more often during the day, but for most of my customers, it's like once in the morning, once at night, and they're done, because since it's absorbing into the different layers of your skin, it's going to do its job better and last for longer. So those would be some things that I would say, if you're looking for like, how can I incorporate some aromas just in a gentle way into my life, but also take great care of my skin, those like chamomile hand cream for your hands, or the almond body lotion. And what's nice about that, the almond body lotion, is that if you do want to incorporate some essential oils into your routine, you can use that as a carrier cream. Right. And if you just want like one drop of, you want an uplifting feeling, so you get some bergamot and you put one drop of bergamot in that, and you're like, that can be your carrier as well. Or that one works really well with like floral aromas. So maybe you're having mood swings and you want to try a drop of geranium to help balance out moods. Like that one.
Gosh, my husband's going to put that in my stocking. I think he's going to be like, here you go. Here's a whole stocking full.
No, have you used geranium yet?
I have not. I probably should.
It's really good. I like, a lot of people like it for like during menopause mood swings. And I'm like, I'm in my 30s and I need it now. Like, I need it now because it's a demanding time in our lives. Like, I feel like it's, I feel like we're working really hard to keep it together all the time. And then once that falls apart, like, it's like, oh, these are big feelings. So, I use that a lot. Like a little bit of geranium in my body lotion, things like that. So you can start with just a little at a time if you don't want a really overpowering aroma. I would say for you, then, don't go to like Guducci Revitalizer. One, it has lavender in it, but it also, we have some blends that have like camphor in them to give them a kick. So that it's like a kick, because Guducci Revitalizer is to wake us up, right? And to get us out of our slumps. And so these have floral and citrus and Guducci, which is like,
it's a mashup of things.
And I love it, but if you don't want strong aromas, right, then that's not a good fit for you. So again, that's why I always say, talk to a consultant who can like ask you these questions and get the information for what exactly do you want to try, what exactly do you need, and really there's a whole world on that website.
Yes. And I like the website
Uh-huh.
gives you so much information
It
too.
does.
When you
Mhm.
look at the products, you can go on there and sometimes they'll show you like what's in there or how do I use this. So
Mhm.
it's not just like here's our product, buy it. They
Right.
really are trying to support the consumer.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. For all those special needs that we have with our sensitive skin
Yes.
and everything else. Mhm.
So I do want to touch on how we can help maybe fill in or support our at-home first aid kit, because I know, and
Mhm.
anybody who knows me personally knows my oldest child and how athletic they are, and it's like if it's going to happen, it happens to my oldest child. So I have gone through the normal products that you would have within your first aid kit, but I do have to say the one thing that besides like the juniper and for the
Mhm.
aches or the arnica for the pain kind of things, the
Mhm.
one product that I really love, and I think you love it too, Angie,
I
is the
do.
balm.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and I even the other day, so it was a basketball game, and my son jumped up and he fell on his hip, and I'm like, rub this on it, and it really did. He did it for a couple days. It helped with the bruising, it helped with the
Mhm.
pain. The other day at a game, another kid got elbowed in the face. I'm like, rub this on your face. So it's like, but it's
Yeah.
again one of those products that
Mhm.
I don't think I could go without again.
Right. Right.
And so could you maybe talk about some of these products,
Mhm.
how they can be beneficial for the
Absolutely.
consumers and kid friendly? I mean, these are
Right.
great kid friendly products.
Yeah, Body Balm is one of our top products because it has, okay, so the main ingredients in it are arnica and witch hazel. And so what they do is they work together to reduce inflammation. They stimulate circulation, like for bruising, right?
Yes.
By stimulating that circulation, you're reducing the effects of like everything just like coming together in that one point and
Right.
becoming really painful, right? So you stimulate the circulation. It also helps with things like bug bites because it's refreshing and soothing
Yes.
on our skin, and helps with the inflammation that comes along with those. You use it on sunburn with the boys,
Yes.
right?
My
Yes.
little
Um,
gingers. Yes.
yeah, your gingers. But also, like I use it before a lot of my other used products, like for body aches and pains and things like that,
Right.
because by stimulating the circulation, since the products are going in through the bloodstream when we apply them on our skin,
Yeah.
it's going to help them absorb better and get more effective
Well,
and
that's a
be more
great point.
effective. So when I have like a sore back, or my husband has lots of back issues and we use these all the time, it's always the body balm first is like the prep the surface,
Right.
get the
Right.
stimulation, refresh the skin. We use that first and just do like a quick massage with body balm. Then I'll take like juniper, which
Yes.
is kind of like a natural muscle relaxant, right? It's
Mhm.
going to help relax those that muscle pain. And I put some of that 31 herbal oil. I have a huge
Yeah.
bottle of this. You put that in as well because it helps release the pain and tension that's with it. And I
Right.
rub that in and we do a massage, and within 5 minutes, back pain gone. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. So I use that for kind of prepping the surface as well.
Right.
And then we also have things like tea tree oil,
Right.
which is a miracle
It
because
is.
it is used for so many things. It's an antiseptic oil. So like if you get a cut on your finger, you can put it on. It doesn't burn. It helps
Right.
regenerate your skin faster. It helps kill like the bacteria, right? You're trying to prevent infection in that area. Tea tree is something that you can literally use, okay, on cuts, on canker sores. You can gargle with it when you have
Yeah.
an infection in your throat. I just had a really bad virus with like, well,
Oh,
bad throat stuff. Is that going around up by you guys
it
too? Because
is. It
it is
is.
rough. It is rough. I don't know what it's called, but don't get it. It's not fun. We are finally recovered, and my girls already have their next cold, and I was like, what?
Oh no.
But anyways, we've got the full arsenal. We have got like the full kit of everything we use.
Yeah.
But I put tea tree even just on the outside to help,
Right.
to help get rid of that infection because it's a beast. And it's the thing, like I went to the doctor multiple times for this last one because I was like, this pain, like my lymph nodes were so swollen that I was like, there's something, I have to have an infection somewhere. Like I'm not able to get rid of it. They're like, nope, it's just this virus. It just really is not fun. So you need it's nice to have some natural options when like, even if you're going to the doctor and saying, I can't believe this is normal. And they're like, it's normal.
Right.
You have something to do to help yourself feel better at home. Or let's see, what else for first aid?
Well, and Angela says she uses tea tree or peppermint oil on her scalp, that it really helps with the dry scalp.
Yes. So when you're using like those pure essential oils, it's best if you're using them in like a pH balanced shampoo or something like that. Right. So look for like a pH balanced shampoo that you can put a drop or two in and then apply and massage that way. Yes, absolutely.
And I do love to, yes, and rosemary is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of just like they have the blends, the herbal baths, and I'm a bath person. So I like the juniper or, but one thing, and I don't know if you found this with your family, but my husband wasn't feeling good a couple weeks ago and it was all settling in his chest. And I'm like, I have this thyme cream. Let me rub it on your chest. And it was an argument for a couple hours. And then finally he's like, fine, just go get it. And then I put it on. And then within 5-10 minutes, he was up and doing stuff. And I'm like, that helped, didn't it? Well, but now it's an argument to get them to try it. But then he's like, well, can you get me more of that? So once you try it and you realize, this isn't just hoopla.
Right. And don't be afraid to be the wellness ambassador at your home. You can be the boss you want. And I don't even ask anymore. Like, I know at the end of the day, I know my partner's expression where I just go and I rub anti-stress behind his ears when he's like doing something else. Right. Like I like just da-di-da-di-da. Or like my kids are just like getting ready in the morning and I'm like, put your head up. I spray Eucosol. This was me this morning because like my daughter got a new cold, stayed home yesterday, back to school today. Yes. So she got Eucosol sprayed on her clothes so that she gets those aromas to open her airways during the day. I'm rubbing thyme cream on her chest. Like, this is awesome. Antispasmodic to like calm down coughing.
I love it.
It also just like warms you up and makes you feel better. Like it's amazing. So yes. And so I think we become that person, like you've tried it, it works, and you just go around and you just take care of your family with them because I wish I could do this to people in the community sometimes too.
I know.
But I see people like at the like at the gym and they're like still coughing or whatever. And I'll give them like a sample and try to tell them about it, but they're probably just rolling their eyes.
I do the same thing.
But I'm like, have you tried this? Because this is what it does. Like I just want to fix everybody up with them because they work. Like they're
So I have shared your link. So if anybody's looking to reach out to Angie, you want consultation, samples, please reach out to her. There are some great deals going on right now, Angie, if you want to kind of fill everybody in with that before we let you go.
Yeah. So if you go with this being holiday season, there are tons of sales right now, especially on like sets for different needs, which is really nice because you can get like 3, 4, 5 products together for a discounted price and they meet. Like using them together helps meet your needs the best for muscle aches and pains. This Essential 3 set, the Gaducci and Anti-Stress and 31 Herbal Oil is like for under $60 right now, which is really great. So it's a good way to get started. And a lot of them are 10 to 15% off right now. So if you go to my website, that's like the informational website, right? If you go to my website, go in and check out the information, the ingredients and all that stuff there. But if you click on the shop button and go to promos, you can see all of the different sets that are available there. And if you send me an email and just tell me like, I'm struggling with this, do you have any recommendations? I can help guide you in the right way to find something that's the perfect fit. But my biggest thing right now that's on sale, our diffusers are on sale right now through Monday. If you're looking for a diffuser, we have 5 different ones that are awesome and on sale, and then the Essential 3s. Oops, I think we lost an internet.
Want to keep up with the latest at the station? How about catch up on your favorite shows on the go? Download the free WLTK-DB mobile app on the App Store and Google Play. Watch, listen, and shop right from the palm of your hand. The WLTK-DB mobile app. The truth is here and now. Get yours today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am sorry for the brief interruption. You did not witness an alien abduction. I just apparently lost internet because it's -7 and it's Wisconsin. So why have internet? I am assuming Angie was able to give you all the sales and the upcoming. And I know I was trying to say before I disappeared that the sets are, and I don't know if that came through, but if you're trying to fill in and get these sets going, they have a really great discount right now on all their sets, because I've kind of been eyeballing that myself.
Like a good one to start too is just like, if you're looking just for like overall needs, you just want like a set that's available for a lot of different things for emotional and physical well-being. Right. The used favorites set is a good place to start, where you get kind of a little bit of everything. Right. You get the big bottles of anti-stress and 31 herbal oil, because I mean, come on, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
You get the big bottles of these. So these are 5 ml. You'll get like a 10 and a 20 ml of those. But then you get a lot of other products like that hand cream, the Eucasol, the juniper cream, things like that in a smaller size, so that you just get to try it all out and see what you like. It's like what comes with our consulting kit, basically. It's kind of similar to what comes with our consulting kit. And really, a lot of people will reach out to me. They're like, I believe in natural wellness. I really want to try this, but financially, I would like some different ways to get these products. Like, I want to get these products for less. Right. So sometimes they'll join my customer group so that they can get updates on sales that come up. That's one great way to do it. Yep. But also, there are really easy ways to just host an event. Like, if you have people in your life that you know have these kinds of needs, reach out to us and we can help you set up. Like, I do lots of virtual, in person. We have such a wide variety of ways to just share this information with other people. It's low stress. It's like, if people want to buy from your event, you get some free and half price products. If they don't, that's okay. You still learn about them on your own. But it's because, like we've been saying, we know that natural wellness using essential oils is something that a lot of people have to try before they really get into it, right? Right. They say, no, I don't do that, so that's not for me, is the response I get sometimes at first. So we just have it like a wellness class, a wellness spa. Here are some tips. I call it simple self-care. Like, it's just ways to take care of yourself. And people just have to be ready for that to start trying it. But really, there are ways to save on them as well. Like I said, if you reach out to us, we can answer questions about that as well. Because we want you to have them in some way, shape, or form, because they really just help you feel better. And I really believe that they change your mindset of like, absolutely, I am worth a little bit of an investment. I am worth, I am worth taking a moment to take care of myself during the day. This is funny, that since I have started consulting more with youth, and I'm telling people this all the time, I've gotten so much better at taking baths.
Yes. And taking that self-time.
Yes. Like, I used to never take a bath because I was like, I don't have time for that. Whatever. And now I'm like, my dishes can stay in the sink until tomorrow, and I am going to go take 20 minutes to soak in. I'm big on Melissa or thyme. Like, those are my bath essences. That's my jam. And I've gotten so much better at just saying, family, pause, I'll be back. Or, like, kids are in bed, the house can stay as it is, and I get to recharge my batteries for a little bit. And I feel like it has really helped just change that mindset because, sometimes you come from like a family where your mom was a farmer, 10 children, and you just get used to like the doing. The mindset of like, you just do things and you just keep doing them, and you just are fine, and you just go and go and go. And that's how I have lived my life for a really long time. Right. But I got to so many burnout points between being, like a heavy duty college student who was like,
Right.
never getting enough sleep and always taking on more than I could do. Like I was heavy duty college student, burned out all the time, but I was like young and my body could kind of handle
Yeah,
that.
you're like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
I got it. I'll be fine. I'll
Right.
survive. And then I got to my 30s and I was like, I was teaching full time and I had
Yes.
kids and I had like a house and everything. And I just felt depleted. And
Yes.
so for me, I was like, I can take a little break from teaching. I can spend more time with my children. And now I have use that helps me help pay my
Absolutely.
family's bills from home and still be able to keep a balance.
Yeah.
And for me, that's been huge. It's been
Absolutely.
life-changing.
Absolutely.
So
I get that because,
Mhm.
similar to you too, we had made
Mhm.
adjustments so I can be home with the boys. And there are, and I am so grateful for this opportunity, but there are times where you're just like, and you have to refocus. So I
Yeah.
want to thank you so much, Angie, for coming on and sharing your story and Swiss Used with the viewers. I appreciate your time. And I just appreciate you introducing me to these wonderful products. So thank you so much.
And I'm so glad that we were just like friends. We have literally gotten to sit down together in person, 2 or 3 times in our
Yes.
lifetime. And I'm glad that this just brought us together because I love having you
Yes.
as a friend. And I love being a part of your community who I got to meet
Yes.
at the last wellness fair that you
Yes,
did.
that was fun.
And just it's been great. I'm so grateful and
Yeah.
thank you for bringing me on the show to get to know more of you and share this message. I think it's an important one for a lot of
Yes.
us. So,
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, Angie.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
And so what I kind of want to do for you guys is let you know it's coming up on the station. So remember, you can always pop in. You can always check out the schedule. There's new shows. Some of the time slots have changed for the show. So please make sure that you're checking those out. You're supporting some of our other fantastic hosts because everybody, they're just amazing. And we're all here in servitude of information and letting you guys know what's going on and just being a resource. I do want to talk about a little bit about what's coming up on our show next week, which is I think it's very exciting. We will have Tobias Wayland coming on the show, and he's a researcher of the odd, of the fae, of all of those encompassing things. He's an author, but he's going to be coming in specifically to talk to us about Santa Claus, the lore around Santa Claus, and what a better time than the week before Christmas itself. So I hope you will tune in for that. Learn where some of these things have come from, why we have these legends, individual experiences, and things behind that. And then for our younger viewers or our parents, you might want to pop into about the last 15 minutes of the show because I have a feeling that we're going to have a visit from the big guy himself. So please make sure that you tune in for that. The following week, the station is on a break. So I want to let you guys know, catch some replays. I will make sure to pop in some Podbean stuff where you can go back and listen in case you missed anything. On the 5th, we have a psychic medium, Jessica, who will be joining us. Thank you, Angela, so much for tuning in, who will be joining us for a live reading show. So we're going to start off the new year with a live reading show and some inspiration to our viewers. So I hope you will tune in for that. Still working through some guests and getting the lineup completed for you, but on the 26th of January we will be having the Lehigh Valley medium on our show to come in and talk to you about his story and be a resource. He's a great resource, so I'm really excited to be bringing that to you. I'm going to pull 3 cards today, and I'm working with a new deck, so bear with me. This deck was gifted to me. It's the Mystical Shaman Oracle, and I've just started working with it. But Spirit says we're going to do 3 cards today. So kind of get in that mindset. Is there anything that you're looking for guidance on? Because here it is. Okay, so card number 1 is the owl. And when I see the owl, I know the owl can represent wisdom, but to me, the owl has always come in as a messenger. And I feel like that's kind of how it's coming in now, is as a messenger. And so if you've been asking for guidance, if you've been looking for clarity on certain topics, know that that guidance is coming. Spirit is hearing that you're asking for some affirmation, that you're asking for some support in where you need that clarification, and know that it's coming. But don't be dismissive. That information and that wisdom may not come to you in the way that you expect it to. So be open to what you are able to receive. Card number 2, if you can see it, is the Seer. I think this card is interesting. When I look at this card, and it's really hard to see in the picture with me holding it up, but you see the indigenous person, but underneath it is actually a picture of a cat, a mountain lion in there. And when I see this card, it really makes me feel supported. And so know, if you chose number 2, that there is support there for you. Spirit is either putting people in place to support you with these ideas, with your journey, with your advancements, and that's coming in. But you might not see it clearly, but know that that support is there because it's right next to you. The last card that Spirit is giving us is the Sacrifice. And when I look at this card, to me, this is sacrifices or things that we may have to set aside to keep ourselves in alignment of where we want to be. And so if you're choosing number 3, maybe you've been reaching out to Spirit and you're wondering why you're stuck. You're wondering why you're not feeling in alignment with your goal or your life's purpose. Reevaluate. Are you setting aside things that may not be in line with that purpose? I always like to use the example of if you're looking to be financially independent, but you're still going to Starbucks 2 days a week. Are you willing to sacrifice, to set aside some of those things so that you can be in alignment and advance to where you want to be within your journey? On that note, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all every week coming in for knowledge, for information, sharing with me. If there's any topics that you would like us to try to line up on the show, please remember you can always email me questions or topics. Thank you so much, Ellie, at chatwcharlie.com. And watch, I just want to throw this in here, watch my Facebook page because we do have a show coming up probably in February that I need your help for. So watch for that announcement so you can help me out and get me some of the information I need. With that, have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.